Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. A lot of requests on Michael Jacquet, so let's go through him in this game against the Cardinals. Tough game for him against DeAndre Hopkins in his first start. First rep we see here is a corner route. DeAndre goes inside him first here, wants to set him up before he's breaking outside. Jacquet doesn't allow him to do that, get some contact here. Got to be careful with the holding on that point, but good physicality on the rep and, you know, got to start off with some physicality against them. Then we got him at the end line here, at the bottom of the screen to the two tight end side. And we have a power for the Cardinals, and he does a good job of getting the outside contain on the guy who's pulling right here, stays outside to him, and then comes in and assists on the tackle. Now we're at the goal line. We have a man situation, and Michael's lined up right here against DeAndre Hopkins again. He has inside help on this cover one here with underneath defenders in the linebacker, so he can respect the outside a little bit more than the inside. That's why we don't see him rush upfield right there. He triggers well on the pass by Kyler Murray as DeAndre is catching this ball, and then a really good tackle and a good punch to get the ball out. Really good rep for Michael. So now we have cover two situations for the Eagles here on the next drive, down here at the bottom against DeAndre Hopkins. What I like about this is he gets the bump right here on DeAndre Hopkins and then looks inside. So you know he has DeAndre outside of him and he can relate to the guy coming outside right here. Now he has to respect the guy coming into the flat while also helping out his safety who's deep right here. So Kylo can't just gun it in there for DeAndre Hopkins and leave the safety in a bad position. Now, Marcus Epps is incredibly slow to get out to this point right here, so it's a good thing that he has Michael to stand in a perfect position where he's able to bounce up on the to trigger on the flat guy while also having contain on DeAndre Hopkins. And he can bat this ball away. Man at the bottom against DeAndre Hopkins again, coming on a crossing route, and I really enjoy how well he's keeping up with this right here. A little bit of a good inside release from DeAndre Hopkins, so there's a little bit of a separation at that point, but he recovers from it really well, avoids the pressure over the middle, and then comes up with it right here. So now we have a man in the red zone against DeAndre Hopkins who is running a sort of like it looks like it's a slant release, but he's just going up for the end zone instead. I don't know what that is, but we're blitzing for the linebackers. There's no inside help from Michael right here. He gets sold hard to the outside, but the outside stem from DeAndre D Hop, and it's a really good snap turn for him inside, and then he sort of like stops. Not sure why. It's an easy touchdown if he just continues over the middle. Uh, Michael has good recovery, so in spite of despite getting beaten hard on the get off, recovers well. We got cover three for the Eagles, and we have a flood concept for the Cardinals with an intermediate route in the deep out. We have a streak at the outside, and we have the underneath and DeAndre Hopkins right here. We have, of course, the deep third in Michael Jacquet and the deep middle in Marcus Epps. This is exactly what we saw in the other play where Epps would bite up on the deep out, which makes sense because he has a better vision of what is going on with the inside of or the middle of the field. But he is super late to that, so there's no overlap for Marcus Epps. Michael does his job of following the streak route right there. So ultimately, this becomes a long game for the Cardinals. And it's a really good combination against zone. At the top, man against DeAndre Hopkins, who's going on the curl route, and really good job here flipping his hips. You'd like to get his hands on him right here, but DeAndre has a good outside release right here. He gets his hands on him a little bit here in the top of the route, which is going to help him to transition as DeAndre is cutting right here. So that's going to help him. He can grab a little bit while he is cutting. Of course, there's a risk of the holding, but it's very subtle and it's not going to get called very often. So it's a decent rep. Third and seven for the Cardinals. We basically have all curls for them, cover two for the Eagles. So he has the flat and he's got a safety help over the top, so he can be more aggressive. It doesn't matter if DeAndre Hopkins gets behind him; he will just have to then turn his hips and then run with that as the underneath defender. So he gets way too deep right here. There's no reason for him to be at this depth. So when DeAndre Hopkins cuts right here, he has got way too much separation. Poor rep for him. Gives up the third down. And in for DeAndre Hopkins right here, cover one man. Hopkins gives a little bit of a wiggle at the top of his route right here, the little outside fake, and then going in. Michael bites all up on that, has his hips turned, has to turn 180, and it's beat. First and 10, and Cardinals have one receiver to the top of the screen right here. We're going cover three, so Michael Jacquet is the deep third defender. And there's a little bit of things on this, and you got DeAndre Hopkins going on a comeback route. This kind of separation, he's turning and sprinting before Hopkins is even close to near with him. So when Hopkins turns here, it's a good turn by Hopkins, don't get me wrong. But as he turns here, he's got 5 yards to make up for this. Now, keep in mind also, we need to have a flat defender at the bottom right here or underneath of Hopkins. So you expect Riley to be a little bit more to the outside. Of course, they ran play action, so he bites up a little bit up on that. And so you have a little bit of a bigger crease. No underneath defender. It makes the throw a lot easier for Kyler. This is way too much depth for Michael Jacquet, in my opinion. I'd like him to not turn and run and sprint as fast and respect a little bit on the comeback route or the curl route a little bit more in that rep. We have once again in a man situation against DeAndre Hopkins running a slant route. It's a really good route here. Take the outside wiggle, but Michael consistently bites up hard to the outside on that, so he has to go 180 again here. Really good route by Hopkins. Gives the catch and a first down. At the bottom, against DeAndre Hopkins, going on a slant. Really good cover this time. Stays right with him all the way. 4th and 2, another slant for DeAndre Hopkins at the bottom with Jacquet and man coverage on him. This time, you see the outside fake and DeAndre is doing there. He's not going to bite as hard on that. He's going to get one arm on him, and that is going to help him recover. And then really good coverage to the inside. 3rd and 13, we got cover 4, and Jacquet is lined up at top here. He's 1/4 defender. It's basically man, because DeAndre Hopkins is basically the only guy who's threatening his zone. So Hopkins is going to come on a curl route here. Really good route for him. See, because he's just coming up on the streak, he's not going to turn until Jacquet is turning to the outside here. So he's going this way, and then he's coming in here and breaking. But the turn from Jacquet is really impressive here. He already had his hips turned. He's planting his foot and turning his hips about 100 degrees before he's coming back, and then he stays right with him. In the red zone again, and we have a man combination for the Eagles. Now, Cardinals are going to send a guy outside, a guy inside, so they're going to switch. So what that means is that Jacquet will take over the guy who's coming inside out, so they don't get picked off on the play. Jacquet does a good job of that. He's going to pick off Larry Fitzgerald right there. Of course, Nicole Roby Coleman almost slips, and he skips up his guy. He's wide open, but it's a bad pass from Kyler. Jailbreak screen for the Cardinals, and there's a lot wrong with this rep for Jacquet. First of all, this is an easy read for a jailbreak screen, and he takes solid second before he even reacts to it. And then as he's coming up here, you want him to take the inside, the outside of the slot wide receiver, and then press the play inside to where his help is coming. But he's going to go inside instead, and that's going to give up the outside here for extra yards. Of course, Fletcher Cox is apparently a madman who could chase that down. Cover 2 for the Eagles, and you got Jacquet in the flat right here. Again, really good job. Good getting his hands on DeAndre to begin with, so he can just bail here. He's got total control of what's coming, what's going out. And then he has help to the inside, so he's respecting the outside more than inside. 3rd and 8, we have cover 1 man for the Eagles. Michael at the bottom here against DeAndre Hopkins going on a curl. And I really like the rep from Michael here despite giving up the 3rd down. So he has a good turn with him here, and he stays stride for stride with him. Good cut. As DeAndre Hopkins is cutting, so is Michael. He's right there with him all the way, but it's just a really good ball placed to the inside where Michael has outside leverage. So it's a good ball from Kyler, and DeAndre Hopkins it's just a good play for him. 3rd and 8, and we have another jailbreak screen for the Cardinals, and this is such a dumb fucking play for Michael Jacquet. There is absolutely no reason for him to shoot inside right here. He is the force defender. He has to be the force defender. Everybody else is coming out here. He's coming from the inside out, and he goes inside. He gets sealed off. Nobody else is going to the outside here, so of course he's going to have the outside, and he's going to get the first down. Stupid play, easy play to make. It's a simple job. That's bad. And then cover 1 man on the last play I'm going to show here. 3rd down against DeAndre Hopkins, who's going on a 9 route. And he's right there with him stride for stride. And he even plays the ball as it's coming there for DeAndre Hopkins. No early hand fighting going on. No PI, suspicious, anything. And that's just a phenomenal play from DeAndre Hopkins. You can't slander Michael for going stride for stride with him on a 9 route, playing the ball, and then the wide receiver just makes a good play. I mean, that could be anyone at cornerback at that point. That's just massive. I mean, he even gets his hand on the ball when DeAndre has it, so that's good competitive.